everyone, I'm Kathryn DeSinaasappelen, your beer mistress, and today we are trying this beer, Genevieve De Brabant. Right, let's open this up. Here's the bottle cap. It has Bambi's mom on it. Alrighty then, pour this. Ooh, this is a lot more yellow than what I was expecting. Okay, that's interesting. Here's the color. And as you can see, it's a very hazy, yellowy color with a very white foam. And you're probably thinking, okay, Kathryn, why is that weird? Because this is a white beer. And the white beers that I've had, while they are yellow, they're like really pale yellow. Like this is like blonde color to me. That's interesting. I'm sort of nervous now. Let's smell this. Okay, now I'm really nervous. It does smell white. Okay. I am nervous. For those of you who don't know, the difference between a blonde and a white beer is that white beers are made with wheat. And there was a period in Belgium where white beers ceased to exist because nobody made them. And then the style was renewed here in West Flanders. Yay! And then with the success of that, other breweries picked up the style, and so now you sort of have white beers everywhere in Belgium. But because I'm biased and I live in West Flanders, I'm going to say all the best and proper white beers come from West Flanders. The smell of this is interesting because it has a blonde note that's coming off of it, but you still have the citrus and spices that are typically added to whites, and I'm getting a lot of those, but there's a lot of blondness coming off of this, and the aroma is like breaking my mind because it's like, it shouldn't smell like that. You know, the greatest part of this is that I love how I've tried a handful of white beers and now I'm an expert. So let's just try this and see how it goes. Gezondheid. Okay, wow. How did they... Mind has been blown. This has a bubblegum flavor to it. And I know that's like such a random flavor to get from a beer. And it's not a very in-your-face bubblegum flavor. It's sort of like this little subtle aftertaste. And then the beginning of it, it's sort of dry, a little bit bitter. But there's that bubblegum taste that it's very surprising. Like, oh, it's nice. Yeah, there's a bubblegum taste. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is now my favorite white beer. Everything I said before about the best ones coming from West Flanders, like, no, you guys lost that because, wow, this is delightful. The one sort of like bad thing about the beer, which has nothing to do about the beer, but like the artwork, is on the back there's a description. And it's written in French, in Dutch, and in English. And the English reads, "This beer is brewed from the finest ingredients, including wheat, as is typical for the best Belgian white beers." Right? That's great. Except this description is not what it says in French. And then the French description is different than what is said in the Dutch description. And I don't like that. Because in the French description, I think it's playing on the title of this, which is Genevieve De Brabant, which is like a title, you know, royalty, and it says "this noble beer." I thought that was funny, and I don't like that they didn't keep that in the other translations because it's like a play on the fact that this is a title. It's like, it's a nobility beer, it's royal. I don't like that, so that's the only downside to this beer. It still has that slight bubblegum taste. Wow, I love this beer, it's amazing. This beer comes in at 5% ABV, so that's relatively low for a Belgian beer. I think that's sort of normal for white beers, I believe. I know, I stated at the beginning of this video I was an expert in white beers, but I believe that the white beers tend to be lower in alcohol content. The only bad thing, and I don't know if this is for other people, but whenever I drink white beers, I get a headache, and I can sort of feel that, like, the headache is coming in, and I don't know what that's about because Other beers I don't get headaches with, but like white beers, they're just special. Maybe I'm like gluten intolerant and I'm allergic to the wheat or something. I don't know. That's not going to stop me from drinking white beers though, because they're awesome. I sort of realize now that people might get this beer thinking that it's going to taste like bubble gum. I just want to reiterate that it's a slight little note that I'm getting off, and it could be a different taste, and my taste buds are just so unsophisticated that I categorize it as bubble gum because it's not sweet. That's the one thing about this beer. There's not a lot of sweetness going on. It's bitter, it's dry, but it does have this really pleasant like bubblegum flavor at the end. I like this, except that it is giving me a headache, and so I'm gonna have to drink lots of water once I'm done. But this is delightful. Guys, I had a really horrible, like, dumb moment when it came to this beer, because this beer was in the box set that I talked to you guys about, and second dumb moment is that all the beers are from the John Martin breweries, and like it just went over my head about that. What's sad is I saw this beer like last year and I wanted to try it because of the name and the fact that it was white, because last year I was really into white beers, but I never found it. And then when I was doing research on the John Martin's brewery, I came across the beer again. I was like, ooh, I really want to try that. And it wasn't till I was shooting B footage for the box set that I realized that the beer that I've wanted to try was in the box set. And it was like, gosh, I'm so stupid. Like, I don't know how I missed that. But I finally got to try it, and like, yeah, this is a thumbs up. You guys should try this because it's delightful. I know I was sort of like, ooh, in the beginning because there are lots of blonde notes coming off of it in my opinion, but you don't taste them, and there's that bubblegum taste. There is a slight sort of like nail polish remover taste that like it comes and then it goes. It's very fleeting, and so I think that's the only taste in the overall feel of the beer that might be unpleasant to somebody who hasn't had beer before. But I think if you've started your beer journey and you did it the way you're supposed to do with lambics and then working your way to whites, I'm not entirely sure if this would be a good first white beer to have, because I think there are other white beers that are a bit more subtle and have more sweetness to it, and this is more, I don't know, I feel like you would need to work your palate up to this, because it is a very delicious beer, but there are a couple of tastes that, for me now, it doesn't faze me because I'm used to those tastes. But I feel like if I had tried this beer last year, I wouldn't have been as into it because the tastes were just tastes that I wasn't accustomed to. So maybe have a few other white beers before you get to this one, because it's delightful. Or I don't know, maybe have it and then keep working on your journey and then come back to it and see how your taste buds have changed, because that's fun too. This was delightful. Oh my goodness. The only other downside to this beer is that I've never been able to find it in Deleuze or even the other beer shops that I go to, and if it wasn't for the fact that I bought the box set, I probably would have never tried this. And so despite the fact that it is delicious and I would drink this again, I don't have a way of getting it unless the box set comes back and it's not in Deleuze anymore. So that's sad. It sort of sucks worse for my viewers because like half of you live in America and don't get this, so sucks to be you. If you like the... So remember before when I was like, oh, the alcohol isn't affecting me, like I'm awesome. I'm feeling a little bit tipsy now because my head is like, I can't do my ending because it's like the words don't want to come out. So this is gonna be fun. That's what I have for you guys, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Tootsies, may applezines. So I have two things for you at the end of this video today. First, in the future, in like May or June, I'll be doing an Ask Me Anything type video. So if you have a question, ask me in the comments below because I'm collecting them. And second, this is the box set. And for my viewers who you know, watch my videos to the end to see these out credits, you get an extra video. So it's going to be over here, or maybe it's over here. It's on one of these sides, so just like click for the extra video where I discuss the box, because I think this box set is cool. I like it.